All right, so today we're reviewing over our integer operations. First things first, who can tell me what an integer actually is? Or give me some kind of example of it. Haley.
Like x would be...
That would be more like a variable. More like a variable. Integer. Yes, bingo, thank you. It is like a positive and negative number. So, positive and negative numbers. Now, where do we need to review? Adding them, subtracting them, multiplying them, and dividing them. Alright? So, I need to know who knows my rules for when we are adding. Let's break this down. Let's start with same sign. Same signs. If we're adding two numbers, they could be both negative or both positive. Qua.
Basically, add them and keep the sign.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Add them, keep the sign. Add, keep sign. We can shorten that up a little bit, right? All right, good. What about if they have different signs? We're adding two things, adding one positive number and one negative number. Corbin. Very good. We're going to keep the sign of the larger number after we subtract the numbers. Subtract and keep sign of larger. Good. Question 6. All right. Moving on to subtraction. Okay. Subtraction is like
adding the opposite.
Boom. Adding the opposite. So once we turn it to addition, what are we going to do after that? We got adding the opposite. We turn it to addition, and then Talon, what are we doing?
You add.
You're just going to follow those rules, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now multiplying. What happens when we multiply two numbers and they have the same sign? What kind of answer are we going to get? Positive. Good. Is anything going to change about the multiplying part, or is that still pretty normal? That's normal. It's just about the signs, right? What about when we have different signs? Ah, there we go. Say it again.
It's a negative.
It's a negative. We have a negative sign. So if we have one positive, one negative number, you'll have a negative answer. All right? And same thing for division. Okay? Same as multiplication. All right. Now, next thing I want to talk about. Oh, am I starting to lose papers? Stay. All right. So, that's your home. Are you too good for your home? All right, yeah. Sorry. So, back to focusing. Now that we've got our rules up there, I want to talk about some. It's going to do it again. Good catch. Maybe we can find a better place for this. All right, so now that we've got our rules up there, let's talk about some key words that will be popping up in our word problems. Okay, so I'm going to say a word, and you're going to tell me whether it's positive or negative. Okay, let's try this. Descend.
Negative.
Good. Ascend.
Positive.
Okay, that's a positive thing. Below sea level.
Negative.
Good. Above sea level.
Positive.
Positive. Sea level.
Zero.
Zero. Neutral. I like it. Zero. Right? Zero. And what's the more we want to cover? 30 degrees below zero.
Negative.
Negative. 7 degrees.
Positive.
Positive. 0 degrees.
Neutral.
Zero. Good. Switzerland. Good. So, now that we've got that, let's have some quick practice. See, I'm over there hunting for my papers that I moved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, as soon as you get it, you can start. This is just some real quick practice with all 4 operations and some positive and negative numbers. Alright? What's going to happen is you're going to complete this worksheet for me. Should not probably take you longer than about 5 minutes or so, I would think. Once you finish with that worksheet, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, let's see, this is probably too crowded over here. We'll do it over here. Once you get finished, I just want you to go grab the other one whenever you're ready. It's right there on the table on the corner. Okay? So whenever you finish this, go grab that other one. We will check this paper in exactly 5 minutes. The paper you're on now, yes. I'm going to set a 5-minute timer. We will check it together in exactly 5 minutes. If you finish before that, you can go grab the other one. The other one is on the corner of this table over here. All right, make sure you follow your rules. That is the challenge problem. So when you get the other sheet, guys, you don't want to start on the side that says average 500. That's the challenge problem. Save that for the end. You want to start on the word problems. Anything so far on that first sheet, the very first one I gave you that threw you off? Or was it all pretty straightforward? Pretty good? All operations good? All operations are a go. Okay, got about 2.5 minutes to finish that first sheet. Obviously you don't have to be done with the second sheet in 5 minutes. Just the first one. That would be a little crazy. You may need to draw yourself a visual on that second sheet in order for you to get an idea of what they're asking. Sometimes that's helpful if you'll draw a picture. And that's not for everybody. That's for some people. Some of you can just sit there and flat out think about it and give me an answer. You don't even have to do any work. It's crazy. But I do need you to be able to explain why you went with that answer. If you're gonna write just one thing down, okay, I get that. That's some people are just, that's the way their brain works. They don't write a lot. They just go straight to the point. But you still need to be able to explain to me, how did you get to that point? You should at least be able to tell me, In my head is, okay, good, you're right, it was in your head. Now explain what happened in your head. I need to know. What's up? If you feel like it's necessary. Some of them you may not, some of them you may. Got a minute left on that first sheet if you're still on it. Good one. Hey guys, let's talk about number 5 real quick. Talking about positives and negatives. You guys happen to know about BC and AD? What do you think BC would be? Right, so as far as positives and negatives, it would be in the negatives, right? AD, unless that's, there you go. Anode dominant thing. Alright, there's our timer for the first sheet. If you're on the second sheet, flip back to the first one for a second for a quick check. I'm going to go down like this, starting at the top left and going down. Okay? Starting at 15, the first one, 15 divided by 3. And going down. So you should have got 5. That's positive 5. Going down would be negative 72. Give yourself a check or an X. Okay? A check or an X. The next one down should be positive 2. The next one down should be positive 8. The next one down should be negative 48. The next one down should be 8. All right, we are at the top of the middle section. 8 divided by negative 4. You should have gotten negative 2. The next one down, negative 5. The next one down, positive 6. Next one, positive 10. Hope this next one didn't throw you off. Positive 2. And then the last one in that row is negative 28. This one's tricky. Last section, very top right. Negative 4 minus 4. You should have gotten negative 8. You should have gotten negative 8. Right underneath that, positive 8. Underneath that, 30. Underneath that, positive 10. Next one down, we've got positive 9. And finally, the last one, you should have gotten negative 9. Okay, now, look over the ones that you missed, if there were any. First off, how many of you got every single one right the first time around? It's pretty good. If you didn't, no big deal. I need you to figure out which one you missed and see if there's some kind of common theme. Did you miss any of the negatives and the subtractions? And that needs to be your focal point. Okay? Alright, moving forward, jumping into the word problem page, so switch back over to the second page. Alright, this page is helpful with a graphic that looks like this. you can do one of two things. Or, okay, use these to help you. So I think about this as a timeline. 0. Everything that way is AD, right? Everything that way is BC. That's why BC counted down. You notice that? Like 509 BC. As we get closer to 0, it's 508, 507. Okay. Then after that, starts getting into 1 AD, 2 AD, to now 2018. Okay. What kind of things might this be used for if we were talking about word problems? Sam.
Sea level?
Sea level would be a good one, right? Because if you think about mountains, right, you know? Mountains, and then this is the sea. Right? So this is sea level, everything underneath here. Right. Above sea level, below sea level. What else might this be good for, Lane?
Like mining?
Like what?
Mining?
Mining, okay. So you gotta go below to mine, bring it back up, back to above sea level, good. Anything else? There's one in particular I'm thinking of. I think I kinda named it, but you go back to it. Things like up and down.
Elevators.
Elevators would work. I don't know if we could go into negative floors. You could go. Alright. Other examples of where we see integers in the real world. We've heard examples like mining, talking about like if you were mining and you went underground, that would be like a what kind of number? Negative. And then if you brought the coal back up above ground, now we're into the positive numbers. Okay. Someone had just said something about elevators. Technically speaking, if you go underground, you're in what? Like negative numbers, right? And then anything above ground, like positive numbers. Okay, cool.
What about degree or temperature?
Degrees, temperature, yes, because we've got above 0 and below 0. Okay, that's one of the most perfect examples of integers that you could possibly have is degrees. Okay, because do negative degrees exist?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I mean, it's right there. Hopefully your temperature's never been negative degrees. That would be terrifying. But, yes.
Sometimes you can have those roller coasters that go underground.
Ooh, that's true. What's that one called? The Mine Train used to do that, I think, at Six Flags. It used to go underground.
Oh, yeah, I was on that one.
Okay. So, like, you know, it'd be really funny if, like, we could take a class trip to the Dahlonega Mine Train and ride it around, and when it went underground, we'd all go, negative, 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 and then when it went above ground, we were like, positive, and Madison Center goes, no. No. She's like, we could go to Six Flags, yeah, that's fine. We're not getting on the train going, negative, positive. All right, it's not going to happen. All right, good. Any other examples that you can think of? Has anybody seen any in the real world since we've been talking about integers? Like you just were like, whoa, hey, negative numbers, or whoa, hey, what's up? What you got, Walker?
Okay, so the Earth,
Okay.
and then above the equator is positive, and below the equator is negative.
Okay. No. Yeah, sure, kind of. I'll take that. Latitudes and longitudes. I mean, latitudes and longitudes tend to be mainly positive. That one might be a stretch. That one might be a stretch there. Because
From the equator.
they just go, latitudes and longitudes just go positive, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like
Right.
looking south.
Yeah. So, maybe so, yeah. Same.
A bank, like bank accounts.
Ooh, bank accounts. Okay.
You own a bank account.
You could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in your bank account, and that would be what kind?
Positive.
Positive. Or you could owe the bank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's, and if you owe them that much, that's what? Negative. Not only is that just a negative thing in general,
Is dead.
it's literally negative, okay? So, if you owe the bank, it's negative. And guys, that's one of those key things I was talking about that was so crucial for understanding in the real world, because let's say you have $10 in your bank account, right? That's like positive 10, because you have it, right? Now, if you're bad with money, and you go try to spend $17
You're gonna owe 7.
that you don't have, guess what they're going to do? Not only are you going to owe the bank -7, or you're going to owe the bank $7. The bank has a thing where they have something called overdraft, where if you only have $10 and you try to spend 17 and they let it go through, they hit you with an overdraft fee because you spent more money than you had. You see what I'm saying? That overdraft fee sometimes floats around $35. So now not only do you owe them the 7, you also owe them another $35. Now if you had -$7 and you owe them another 35, where would you be at?
You're at $42.
-42. Just another way of showing that same signs, we add the numbers. You see what I'm saying? Okay? -42. So again, if you're bad with money, if you're bad with integers, you'll end up not just owing 7, possibly owing even more than that. Haley.
My mom was talking on the phone with
Uh-huh.
one of her clients. She's like, and you have to owe owe this much on the house, but
Uh-huh.
you only have this much. I was like, oh, positive negative.
Bingo. Perfect. It says you owe this much on the house, but you only have this, right, to spend. That's like, if, perfect example is exactly what Haley's mom does. Her mom does real estate, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, when she is working with clients, probably one of the first things she says is like, well, what's your budget? You know, how much can you spend on a house? Because guys, if the people only have, let's say they only have 200 grand. I mean, I say only, that's a pretty good amount of money, but if they're looking to spend that on a house, right? Is Haley's mom gonna go find houses that are like 450,000 and up? No, it doesn't make any sense, right? What kind of houses is she looking for? Probably that price or what? So, back to the sheet again. Which one of these word problems was something new to you as far as integers went? Now, a lot of us have heard the ascend, descend, you know, up the mountain, down the mountain, all this and that. Some of us have heard about the money. What about some of these word problems that introduce some kind of way that you're like, oh, I never thought about anything like that. Wow. Yeah, BC and AD. Okay, BC and AD is one where that goes from, technically it's like negative to positive, right? Because BC is counting down, right? Just like negative. Don't negative kind of count down towards 0, you know? And then it starts to get bigger after that. That's BC and AD, okay? That's a good way to think about it. Any others that were new to you from that sheet? Casey?
They used a submarine.
They used a submarine. Okay, so you had not thought about submarine before? Question, can a submarine reach a positive boundary? Yes or no? I want to hear your argument. Hands. Good.
I guess because sometimes when something bad happens on a submarine, they'll get like a helicopter to come and pick it up.
Okay. That's it. I like that argument. What do you think? He says it's built on land.
That is true.
Thinking outside the box there, Gray.
Yeah, like it can come up to the surface.
Gray says it can come up to the surface, even if it's just a little bit, right? Could you have a submarine in some negative and some positive?
Yeah.
Bro, that's sorry, that's what you were doing. What's up? Have you seen it? Have I seen what? Yes.
Okay. So you know,
Just once though. I only ever saw one cartoon.
the body of the submarine is in the water,
Uh-huh.
and then it has that little telescope thing on top and poking out in the water.
Yeah. You know what that's called?
Periscope.
Periscope.
Wow, we're really just making one look bad.
Periscope. Yeah, he's right. The submarine could be in negative land, and then up periscope, right? It can go above and be up there too. I'm still stuck on this They're built outside the water. Straight. Casey.
So the submarine could just be go and a giant shark just hits it and jumps across the water.
You know, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. I'll tell you that. Okay. Good. So back to the sheet. Keep working on it. Keep making sure that you are using the right. When it's negative, make sure you're using negative. When it's positive, make sure you're using positive. Yes. Question. What's up? Good question. Hey, number 4. I want to probe. I like that question. Paxton wants to know, would it be negative 35 or positive 35? And I'm kind of wondering if you guys picked up on that too. It's a good question. Paul, what do you think?
Positive, because if it's negative, it's her friend. Her friend needs the money to kind of pay it in the negative.
Okay. Okay. So Quad's thinking that it's a positive 35. Does anyone want to counter that? Haley?
I think it's gonna be a negative 35 because it owes the candy store $35.
Okay. So that's the other side. Quad's thinking it's positive because
I think it's a positive, 35 when you pay this. But our money she only is the negative.
right, but we're talking about that 35.
Positive because you made money.
It's a word problem.
But like,
They're not going to put negative sign in the word problem.
this is negative, the money that they owe
Mm-hmm.
is good, like,
How about this? Let's just think about this. Owing money. Positive or negative?
negative.
So if they owe $35, $35 is negative. Because they owe it. That answer your question?
Well, that makes sense, she can't, they can't eat.
See, that's the thing. They're not paying negative $7. This is a good point here. Listen up to this. Here's the big thing. This is a very, very typical common mistake that happens here. Negative 7. So I'm saying I can't give Ann to negative $7. I can't literally give here's some Cane's cash negative 1, negative 2, negative. Like it doesn't work like that, right? That's what you're saying. But here's what I need you to think about. As far as money goes, these two things have to exist in the money world. Now, they don't exist as physical things. You don't have an actual negative dollar and a positive dollar. It's all about whether it's your money or are you giving it to somebody else. So, if it's your money, you own it, you got it, you're not spending it, that's what? Positive. But if you owe somebody, if you spend any money, if any money comes out of your account in any which way, shape, or form, that is what? Negative. That's the difference. It's not positive or negative in the form of like the actual currency is positive or negative. It's in the sense of, is that money coming to you? Or is that money coming from you? To you or from you? If it's coming to you, and you can just think about it as far as the word. Is that a positive thing if you're getting money? Yeah. Is it kind of a negative thing if you got to give away your money? A lot of the times, yeah. Unfortunately, it's necessary. It's a negative thing for me to give all my money away every month for rent and utilities and food and everything else. But, yeah. So, what's up?
So if this is gonna be the negative 7, because each of them have to pay for it.
Yes. Yes. That's why it's negative 7. They each owe $7. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen, that's the difference. They don't owe negative 7. You know what I'm saying? They owe 7. That's what makes it negative. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. And I think that's where a lot of you get hung up. You're like, how can you owe someone negative $7? Don't think about it like that. You owing them $7 is negative 7. You know what I'm saying? That's like the key thing that you got to pick up on. Okay? Really good question. I'm glad that we got into that. What's up?